Okay, go ahead and open up Pump Box, and we're going to add these holes. Now, the example on your piece of paper doesn't give a huge amount of detail, so I want to create a little video to kind of help you out with this. So you're going to go to the side that looks like this, the kind of shorter side of the two sides of the pump box, because remember the dimensions are not exactly the same, but it matches your picture that you're looking at on your screen. So you're going to go to hole. Actually, first, we're going to create on the front of our cube called front, and that way we can look straight at it. We're going to go to hole, and we're going to kind of look at the center of our object to the best of our ability, and we're just going to click, and it creates a hole for us. Now, if you notice on your example, it says there's a circle with a line through it says 0.5, and it says a down arrow 0.5. So what it's telling us is that our circle where it says 0.75 should actually be 0.5. So we're going to change it, makes it smaller. And then if you roll over here to the left, you'll see that I've selected a couple options. So simple hole, no seat, termination is distance, direction is default, angle is drill point, and then there's an option for 0.5, and then there's another option right here that says diameter. So we're going to make sure that this says 0.5. We're going to make sure this number is 0.5, and then all we're going to do is hit done. Now, how do we know if it's in the center? What we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the left where it says hole number 5 and click the drop down. Double click on sketch and grab your hand and slide back up. And you'll notice that if you zoom in, there's a little tiny cross right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit dimension. We're going to click on the center of our cross. We're going to click. We're going to drag to the left. Actually, we're going to drag down to the bottom instead. And we're going to click here. And we're going to go out to the left. And we're going to type in 1.75. Because on your example, you see that the center of the circle all the way down to the bottom is 0.75. So we're going to hit OK. And now our circle we're going to click Finish Sketch. And our circle should drop down to the middle. Now, how do we know if it's in the center of the other way? We're going to make sure that our line, in fact, we can even zoom in a little bit and we can move it over just a tad. We want to line it up on that line so it's as center as possible. Now, we're going to make the 4 circles on the outside. Now, you can't really mirror these yet in pattern. We're going to teach you that later. But right now, we're just going to make each one. So we're going to go back to hole. We're going to click up here in the corner. We don't care how big it is right now. We know that it says on the example 0.25 is the diameter of the circle and down arrow 0.5. So we're going to change this right here to 0.25 and look at how small our circle gets. And then we're going to go make sure it's 0.5 and that's true. Now, before we click OK, we're going to go ahead and draw 4 of these exactly the same, just like this. Because that way we know there's 4. And if you notice on your picture, there are 4 holes. So we're going to hit OK. We're going to go to the drop down beside holes. We're going to double click on sketch. And then we're just going to zoom in a little bit and we're going to make sure that these circles are in the right spot and they are off by just a tad. So we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to go again to the bottom. We're going to click 0.25 again. And we got to go do this for all of them all the way around. Remember, I'm just clicking on the center. All the way around. Okay, so then I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. And look how all my circles move. Okay, for the final one, we're going to rotate our object up. We're going to go to top, and it's going to line it up straight. Then we're going to click hole again. Try to find the center as best we can. And then we're going to zoom in so we make sure we're good. For this one is 0.75 with a downward arrow to 0.5. So we're going to change our circle to 0.75. And then we know it's 0.5, so we're good. And we're going to hit OK. Then we're going to go over here to the drop down. We're going to click sketch number 9. And for this one, we don't even have to do numbers. All we need to do is slide our X to the center. and make sure it's in the exact center. Yep, and hit finish sketch. It's going to shift over a little bit, and then I'm going to click home, and you have built the pump box with holes.